You're listening to The Bon Marie Show. It's 8 in the evening. Tune in every night at 8 to listen to The Bon Marie Show on Irish News Radio or ITV.ie. And you can contact anything that you've heard or if anything you'd like to discuss at news@irishnews.net. You're listening to The Bon Marie Show. It's 8 p.m. on Irish News Radio or ITV.ie. Today is Saturday. We're talking about this horrible, horrible government, the whole lot of them. We need a new government party and we need to start it now, and we the people need to back it. Just listening to the British and, that they're definitely going out and they will not agree to a sea border. And they said, basically what she said, we are ready, meaning we are ready for war. You try and take this and we will go to war. The British will not back down on this. They will not break up their country and they will not back down. Now it's time for the Irish to stop being with the EU, and not just signing out the EU. Our trade is with United Kingdom, our links are with United Kingdom as well as America, Australia, New Zealand. They are our links. They are not with the EU. We don't do any trade. There's very little trade. They said Brussels, but it wouldn't be enough to put bread on the table. We need to deal. If we wanted the border sorted out, if we want our trade sorted out, it is not the EU that can do it for us. By bullying the English with the EU to try and break them or to try and change their mind, will certainly not do anything. They will dig their heels in furthermore. And that is not the way to deal with it. You've got to grow up and know that we are an independent country. No more. That's what we died for 800 years for, was to deal and go to the British and say, look, we need our trades done. We need the border open. Maybe even start looking at becoming a free state again under the 32, but with a deal with Britain, rather than putting their backs up by going, the EU big brother is going to try and punish you. You try and punish the British and they will come down. Their trade is already organised. This is a stupid way of dealing with them. We are not in the union. We did not sign into this. In fact, we tried to get out of it 3 times. Our government is deliberately keeping us in and putting us in danger. Our homelessness is rising and rising. Healthcare, they're going on as if it's wonderful. Nothing is wonderful. It's wonderful if you're a non-Irish in this country. You'll be given. But what we need to be doing is with the British. What we need to do is say, okay, maybe we should look at going to 32 and do a trade. But we need to do that with the British. We need to make a decision with the British, not with the EU. The EU is going to antagonise and is antagonising the situation. Well, you know what? They probably will put up the border. We keep annoying them, they will. And you know what? I'll probably move across the bloody border with a lot of Irish people. I'll move to bloody Northern Ireland because this country is going down the Swanee and fast. There will be no country. It'll be a country for Africans and Muslims, and that is the country will be left. There will be no Indigenous Irish. There'll be no Irish language. There'll be no Irish culture. The only part of Ireland that will be Irish will be Northern Ireland, the way we're going. Thank you very much for listening on The Bon Marie Show in Irish News Radio and ITV.ie. Thank you. You're listening to The Bon Marie Show. It's 8 p.m. in the evening. This is Alistrina. We'll be talking about a lot of controversial subjects on this radio station. And on my show today, every day, we will have a different day to talk about a different topic. So today, on Saturday, we've been talking about the horrible, horrible government. The government department of lies, one after another. And it's time, people, you look into Project 2040 that Leo's talking about. It is scary times. It's happening. We are being replaced. Our children are being held back educational. They will not get the education we got because their children, their schools are being put in with migrants who have no basic education at all. Their parents have no education. They've been put into with God knows what. And they are going to be held back in so many ways. The future is looking bleak for us, extremely bleak. I'd say black at this stage, unless you people wake up and say no more migrants. Put Irish children first, put Irish women first, put Irish healthcare first, put Irish homeless people first, put Irish children first. 4,000, and the biggest numbers between 0 and 4. Unless you people start fighting back this bullshit blasphemy law that's going to cost millions, no. Leave it. Nobody's touched it in 200 years. You need to put the millions into the homeless. Stop bringing non-Irish in and putting country areas in danger. We have enough of our own. No more. Stop it. But people, it's up to you to wake up and wake other people up and say this is enough. It's not fair on the Irish children that they will go to school. That they've been held back in places. If there's more migrants into that area, the Irish will be put back and they'll have to wait a year older. So they've been held back. And then when they finally get into the class, they're sitting beside God knows who. Some of them aren't even children. They're sitting beside with these people who are basic, no English, have basics of education. And the teacher will have to sit there going back to the very basics, and the rest of the class is being held back. This is not right. This is their land. This is their country. This is Ireland for the indigenous Irish. Those people can go home. They can go back. When all this mess, this government has destroyed Ireland and the Irish, there is nowhere place to go for the Irish. They have nowhere else that they can just pop off to. It is a disgrace, but you all need to stand together and say enough. We need to take down this government and stop it. Let's protect Ireland and the Irish, not these bullshit who come in and breathe in Irish air and get a passport. That is not Irish. Irish is to be indigenously Irish, is that your parents, your grandparents, your great parents are Irish. Not that you breathe it in for 2 seconds and you became Irish. That does not make you Irish. And you shouldn't want to be something you're not. You're just a fake, false people going around. Like, I've had to revert to myself as indigenous or native Irish because there's so many people going around saying they're Irish who obviously aren't Irish. And I've had many of these stupid arguments and they're like, well, I've got an Irish passport. That means nothing because we have a horrendous government who's only half Irish, who's decided that everybody should be bloody Irish and we should take in everybody, no matter what the destruction or what disaster it leaves in the indigenous Irish, our culture, our language and our race. Time to say no more. Fight them. Fight the whole lot of them. Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, Sinn Féin. Take them all down. Enough is enough. Thank you for listening. This is The Bon Rí Show on Irish News Radio, itv.ie. You can contact anything I've said on news@irishnews.net. Thank you very much. I'm very passionate about that. We must get back because we have no future. That is not a future that the government's talking about, that our children are not being educated and that they're not Irish. There is no identity anymore left, and that is a sad, sad day. Thank you again for listening.
You are listening to Irish News Radio at irishnews.net. Email news@irishnews.net.